Yo, what's good? It's your boy Dot from Dot Me Now Coaching and Entertainment. For coaching, my links are down below. Like this video, subscribe if you're new. I want to tell all of you that sometimes you gotta let go, and that oftentimes the things that you're trying to hold on to, it's not worth it. It really isn't. It's like how they said in the Bible, what will it profit a man to gain the world, to gain the whole entire world, but to lose his own soul? You know what I'm saying? A lot of us strive for certain things. A lot of us try to, obtain certain things. A lot of us are attached to certain things, which really don't profit us at all, because in order to keep on doing these things, or to keep on holding on to these things, we literally have to kind of stay unaware of our soul and act like our soul doesn't exist. Real quick, right? It's not even always about letting go of external things either. Sometimes it's just the beliefs. Sometimes we need to let go of the beliefs that hold us back from expressing what we truly hold within inside of ourselves. You see, one of the biggest issues, right, with having a human body is the fact that we develop an ego, right? Now, originally, ego just meant I. Like the word ego just means I, and it refers to your sense of self. Nothing wrong with having a sense of self, but when you become attached to your sense of self, that's when things get, a bit weird, because your sense of self is your sense of individuality, your sense of being separate from the external world. And you do need that sense of self in order to like survive, because you need to say, like, literally, me being a person that eats food implies separation, because I am separate from the food that I eat. Because I'm also a separate being, I could also be aware of separate dangers. Like, oh, that animal's trying to attack me, so therefore I should either run or fight it, This is how animals operate, and it's not really a problem. But with humans, because we are conscious now, we have a bit more responsibility, and some systems of the ego can get distorted, to the point where we don't do things because our ego thinks that it's literally a risk to its survival. If you believe that you are a person who cannot be laughed at, if you believe that you're a person who, when you speak out, you get laughed at, and that getting laughed at really hurts you, you're going to avoid doing that, because your ego literally thinks that you getting laughed at is you being attacked, and it's a risk to your survival. This is really how your brain will get you to think. I'm telling you, is really just survival based mechanisms, though. Really, we are the soul, and if you're on a spiritual journey, the spiritual journey is not even always about attaining more things. It's actually less about that. It's not always about trying to gain new wisdom, gain new experiences. Da da da. No, it's really about dissolving all those things which you really thought that you were, but you were never that the whole entire time. Spirituality is about becoming of the spirit. We are already our spirit, though. We just have certain blocks that prevent us from realizing that. It's like, for example, it's like if you, like me, I have a beauty mark right here on my face, right? You feel me? I would never know that, though, unless I was able to see it with like a mirror. You feel me? But let's say that there was something blocking my view from the mirror. Now I can't actually see my true self. I can't see what I look like because there's something that's blocking the mirror. With us, right? We always have our true self, but there's something blocking us from seeing it. We can't see what we truly are. We just see the thing that blocks us, which is our thoughts, beliefs, emotions, things like that. Of course, there's physical blocks too, though. Inside the world, all that glitters is not gold. All the things that we swear to God are really beneficial for us, they're not always that. You feel me? I know a lot of people who have attachments to, for example, marijuana. But I'm not against it. I use it. You feel me? But I know people who go like, yeah, this really helped me, bro. I need this joint. Da, 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 da. Really, you just smoking that joint every day because you bored and you just want to feel something, and it's really numbing you from experiencing what's really going on inside your life. I know pretty much people cope a lot, you know, There are things that can benefit us, but too much of it is not always a benefit. For example, even meditation. Meditation is lit. I love to meditate for long periods of time. But if you're a person whose physical life is falling apart and all you want to do is just meditate all day and not take any action in the physical world, there might be an issue with that. Now, granted, I'm not gonna act like there aren't some people who are kind of meant to experience stuff where like life is falling apart, but they're meant to just remain calm because at some point things are gonna get better. But that's different. That's for things that are out of your control. You feel me? You're only supposed to just sit down, chill, meditate, and not do shit when the stuff that's falling apart is completely out of your control. For example, there's stuff going on with the U.S. and Iran at the period of time of me making this video. Trump just bombed Iran. You feel me? Now we could be worried like, oh my God, what's gonna happen next to the U.S. Da, da, da. You feel me? But honestly, we can't control too much. I mean, we could try to like stock up on food and think about like survival plans and shit like that. But there's not too much you can do in that situation. But something that you can do is like, for example, let's say that you have several job offers, right? And right now you got to pay your bills, but you're like, nah, I'm just not going to pay my bills. I'm just going to lose my house, become homeless, all that shit. Now, if you want to be homeless, that's cool. But if you don't want to live like that, it wouldn't serve you to meditate all day and then hope that, oh, I'm going to just manifest something. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? What I'm trying to say is, right, even meditation, too much of it could be bad. So my point is that all that glitters is not gold. All that seems good for you is not always good for you, and we know that. Even like, for example, vegan food. You feel me? Like Beyond Meat, Impossible Meat. You feel me? Yeah, it's vegan. It's not meat, but it's not good for you. You feel me? It's not. And I just speak. This is someone who eats that shit speaking to you. Now, granted, I am transitioning to like a more alkaline diet and stuff like that, but I'll still dip and dabble, my nigga. Shit, I'm about to go out. I'm to like this little beach spot. You feel me? They got vegan mozzarella sticks there. You know I'm gonna eat that shit, but I know it's not healthy. And I ain't gonna act like it is. I ain't gonna act like, yeah, I need this. I'm gonna eat this shit all the time. No, fuck that. You feel me? Yeah, I'll enjoy myself. I ain't say you can't enjoy yourself, but all that being attached to shit that's not benefiting you, you gotta let that shit go, bro. You need to actually come to the edge. You need to really step more into the unknown. You need to come to the edge of what you know and be willing to step out of that and walk into the unknown. And like I said, sometimes the unknown is just when you've let go of all the things that have been holding you back. You don't know what your life will be like now. You let go of all the friends, you let go of all the habits. You don't know what's going to happen. But hey, it's time to clean up. Because even for the people that want to have like certain spiritual experiences, like leaving your body and stuff like that, right? Some of y'all don't have it because y'all have dreams where like you're still playing out past cycles, or you have dreams where like you may just be eating dumb amounts of food. Like you can have dreams you're eating dumb amounts of food, or like you're with like past exes or past friends and stuff like that, or like you're just doing random shit in your dream. And the reason why that happens is because that's what's going on in your subconscious and unconscious mind. You feel me? You're desiring food, you're desiring these old people, you're desiring these old situations, you're desiring these things on some kind of level. You feel me? And granted, I'm not acting like it's not a good thing to sometimes have dreams with people from the past in order to heal. But my point is the fact that because we don't let certain things go, they literally stay inside of our subconscious and our unconscious mind, and then that karma kind of just plays out in our dreams. And because of that, because we can't recognize our karma and detach ourselves from it, because our karma is just our past actions, right, that build up over time and build up in a habitual way, make us do habitual actions that are cyclical and stuff like that, when we don't realize, when we don't consciously create our karma, when we don't consciously like choose what we really want to be attached to and stuff like that, when we don't choose to align our karma with beneficial things, we have unhelpful karma that constantly plays out. We get caught up inside these cycles not knowing why the fuck it happens. You feel me? And you can't really leave your body and stuff like that if you're constantly being taken over by your karma. You feel me? Most of us need to just detach from our karma, let go of your karma, and the best way to do that is simply by becoming aware of your soul, because your karma is really existing from planes 1 through 4. Your soul exists on the fifth plane of existence. When you become aware of your soul, you kind of detach from your karma, because karma is stored inside of your mind. It's stored inside of your etheric body. It's stored inside of your physical body. You feel me? But it's not stored inside of your soul. I mean, like it's like the your mind. See, your soul is what holds your mind. You feel me? Because since your soul is the awareness and it's the consciousness, when you become aware of anything, your soul is able to store that as information. And this group of information is called the mind. But the soul is not the information itself. The soul kind of just stores the information. But if you become aware of the soul, you become the thing that stores the information. You don't become the thing that's drawing from the information, because when you think thoughts, you're drawing from the information. And when you're still like an ego character, you're just a compilation of thoughts and information. You're still drawing from the information. You're not becoming the conscious creator and storer of that information that chooses when information gets expressed and not expressed. You feel me? So when you become aware of your soul, you become more detached from your karma, and now you can actually become more aware of when your karma is just playing itself out. You feel me? Even with like, and I want to say this too, with family and friends and stuff like that, right? Sometimes you gotta let go of certain family and friends. Other times, it's not even the people that's the problem, but rather it's your thoughts and beliefs towards the people and how you interact with them. Now, this message is not for things like if you went through like abuse, or like your parents were dead ass like horrible to you, or your family just treats you I don't mean that. I mean like maybe like when your family, when y'all all don't have the same beliefs and stuff like that and all that other shit. You feel me? That's not always that big of a deal, because me and my family haven't always had the same beliefs. Now, granted, I am blessed to have family that tends to have ideas that align with mine. At least on one side. On the other side, they don't really align. But I could still hang out with all my family, even the ones who would think that I'm the craziest nigga ever. You feel me? Because I know how to express myself around those people. You know. Now, granted, when I the family that I live with, it's I ain't gonna lie, we're more aligned than not aligned. You feel me? And I know that some of you guys live with family where you guys aren't really that aligned with your beliefs. But there was a period of time when it was like that for me as well. And it only got to where it is now because I learned how to interact with my family when they didn't always see things how I saw things. And because I was able to interact in a certain kind of way, it's like I kind of influenced them without even trying to. And that's why they could see things more how I see things, even if it's not 100% there. So what I'm saying is, right, if you be like, oh my God, I can't talk to my family because they don't believe what I believe, I understand you for real. But maybe there's certain things you guys can talk about. You can always talk about like, oh, like how are we doing mentally and emotionally? Unless your family don't want to talk about that shit. I get it. Some families don't want to be open about that shit, but there's usually something you could connect on, because relationships are about how you relate to people, and we could often relate to people in certain similar ways, even if not everything is similar. You feel me? But like I said, some families you do just gotta let go, but sometimes it's the beliefs you gotta let go of around your family, because sometimes your family is just a reflection of different aspects of you. If your family is reflecting different aspects of you and you're not cool with your family, you're not cool with those parts of yourself either, because oftentimes your family is just who you used to be before you even woke up. How would you have dealt with yourself before you woke up? This is how you deal with your family, you know? Like I said, some family gotta let go. But to let go takes courage. You feel me? You need to build up your confidence and your courage that you really are doing the right thing by letting go. Because oftentimes we don't want to let go because we think that, like, we can't always see what's going to like we can't see what's going to happen as a result of letting go. We can't always see the good stuff that's in store in the future. So it makes believing in that good stuff hard. But that's why you need to actually build more confidence in yourself and in your future. You need to be more, and you need to actually be more assured that letting go of these things really will be beneficial for you. You need to actually like you can even like look at people who have achieved what you have achieved and see if they have to let go of the same things also. Because I know for a fact that with certain things that I want to do, nigga, people have always had to let go of certain things in order to do it. In order to do what I want to do. You feel me? The shit I want to do, people have always had to let go of these certain things. You feel me? And it's guaranteed that you have to let go of these things, and that when you get rid of them, it will be easier to get what the freak you want. You feel me? And understand also that you can always rewrite your story, right? You're not you're not bound by your karma or your thoughts or your beliefs or the story you tell yourself, or you're not bound by your character. You could always rewrite your story. You could always rewrite your karma. You could always rewrite your thoughts, rewrite your beliefs, rewrite your character, rewrite your personality. You could always rewrite the story. You feel me? Do not doubt your power. Do not doubt your don't first of all, don't doubt your worth. Don't doubt the value that you have. And that's important because yeah, when it comes to external people, when you know your value, you are able to deal with people in the external better because you won't let them step all over you. But nigga, when it comes to your worth, right? When you understand your worth, you treat yourself differently. You feel me? Like for example, if your body really is a sacred temple, are you gonna defile it as much? If you really have understood the worth of your body and that it really is a temple for the Lord, and when I say a temple for the Lord, nigga, your spirit is keeping this vessel alive, and your spirit literally is an infinite eternal energy that comes from the Most High. You feel me? Whether you want to call it God, source, whatever the fuck. You feel me? I'm saying this because if you knew the simple value of your body, you would defile it less. So knowing your worth is not just about making external people treat you well. It's about treating yourself well because you know how valuable you are. You feel me? If you know the value of your mind, you'll make sure that the thoughts that inhabit your mind are more beneficial to your growth and not your downfall. You feel me? So with that being said, know your worth. And like I said, do it for you. Knowing your worth is not about making people treat you better. Knowing your worth is about you treating yourself better. Do this stuff for you. Slay all your demons, but for you. Because you want to become better. Don't be like, you know what? I want to get over my insecurity so that way I can fucking show the world that I could stand up for myself too. No, stand up for yourself because you want to stand up for yourself, not because you want to make other people feel a certain kind of way. You have the power to rewrite your story. What way do you want to rewrite the story? What story do you want to make? And make sure that you're doing it for you. Know your worth, right? Slay your demons and do it all for you. You feel me? Begin to weave your crown together. You know how like people like wear those crowns sometimes that are made from like weaving together like roses and flowers and shit. Nigga, start weaving your shit. You feel me? Cause with your crown, right? Your crown chakra is literally where your spirit comes in through your vessel. This where your spirit is actually like coming into your vessel. You feel me? Now, with that being said, your spirit is actually what controls your life. Your spirit is what makes the timelines for your life. I actually explained this pretty in depth on my Patreon because I do have PowerPoints that talk about the 12 planes of existence, and inside one of those PowerPoints, I break down all 12 planes, what they are, why they're named how they're named, what happens on those planes, as well as what beings live on those planes and what parts of yourself exist on those planes. And when it comes to your spirit, it lives within inside the seventh plane of existence, hence why it comes through the seventh chakra. You feel me? And your spirit is actually responsible for crafting out your timelines, which are made within inside the sixth plane of existence. Now I'm saying that because your spirit weaves together your life, and if you connect with your spirit, you begin to literally get in tune with the part of yourself that weaves together your life. You feel me? And you are the ruler of your life, and ruler is where crowns, and your spirit comes in through your crown. So if you want to be the ruler of your life, you need to put on your crown. You need to literally weave together your crown like you're weaving together your life, and to actually listen to your spirit and actually follow what your spirit's telling you to do. You feel me? Get away from all the things that's holding you back, bro. Get away from the situations that's holding you back. Whether it's your habits, stop doing your habits. Whether it's the people around you. Whether it's the actual environment is a bad environment for you. Yeah, bro. You need to actually think more loving thoughts to yourself too, because limited beliefs only come from the fact that you're not always giving yourself love. Like if you think that, oh, they're gonna laugh at me or they're gonna hate me, if you loved yourself more and thought more positive thoughts to yourself, these limiting beliefs would eventually go away. You feel me? A lot of us are apprehensive of really putting ourselves out in the world, expressing our true selves, doing what we want to do, achieving the goals that we really do want to achieve on like a deeper, more true soul based level and stuff like that. And the way you get rid of that apprehension is to acknowledge the limits and beliefs, let them go, and start filling your mind up with more positive thoughts. Yes, the love, yes, the things that you lose, right, are going to feel is going to come with some sadness, some grief, you know what I'm saying? But it's actually this loss that clears the way for new growth. You feel me? Sometimes things must be destroyed before you create again. You need to let go before you obtain more things, you know? It may feel like some love was lost, but there's never any love lost. You feel me? If you ever feel sad, sit with that sadness. It's okay. Process your emotions. Deal with that. Understand what really just happened. Understand why you had to let go. And then begin to move forward inside your life and step into everything that's meant for you. You feel me? But I'm in that video right there. You feel me? I love you all. Catch my next video. Peace. The freak.